I probably have 5 times as many Twitter followers than the gal with the glasses. She couldn't wear my jockstrap as a reporter. I am 5,000 times better than any of these millennial journalists.
Go, really, Mr. Schmutty Pants? Well, those comments, among others, didn't exactly endear our bitter boomer pal, Charlie Gasparino, to those millennials, particularly one very smart lady, and it didn't do much to win him any fans at the National Review and other sites and publications who seized on those comments. You know, Charlie, surprise, surprise, is not apologizing. Thin skin. Now some news that could just have him reloading. That half of college graduates fully expect their families to support them, help them, provide money or a home or anything else for them, even if it means mom and dad go to the poorhouse. To some millennials who have no problem with that. No, to some millennials who insist that does not make them moochers. With me now, Christi, Kunzig, Katherine Timpf, Michael, Parrish, Dudell. All right, now, Katherine, you were the one he was talking about. Gasp was talking about.
Yeah.
And what I liked about your revenge is you took pen to paper or keyboard to the internet and the story and just answered back. What did you think of that?
Right. Well, he claims he has nothing to learn from millennials, but I could teach him that the phrase is actually hold my jockstrap, not wear my jockstrap.
Ooh.
The second one was kind of a weird thing to say.
And it was insulting.
Right, and also I never claimed to be better than him. It was so weird that he came out swinging. You're a veteran reporter. Of course there's things that a young reporter like me could learn.
Yeah,
well,
and do you ever use that kind of language?
No, generations can learn from each other. Another thing I could teach him is maybe, let's say, you know, millennials, we're all horrible. We all need to know the things he needs to know. Moron or not, I could maybe think of a better youth outreach strategy. Wanted to change things.
You know, that's what I told him.
Insulting an entire
generation. The man doesn't listen, and he drags the boomer generation down.
So, I mean, yeah.
What did you think of his language?
I think that some of those amateur boxers from his youth might have knocked the fun out of him.
Yeah, or the brains.
That too,
or the brains. But what he's saying, and all jest aside, is that when he hears news like this, he starts saying, your generation, all your generation, oh, those kids again, they're sponging off their parents, they can't handle it themselves. What do you say?
Well, listen, we have to admit the fact that the economy is a little different than it was, 10, 20 years ago. Things have changed, college has gone up. But I have to say, as a millennial myself, I think that millennials need to get out there, get a job, and make their own way in this world. I mean, that's how you develop independence. That's how you develop that work ethic that's going to keep you above the competition in your field. Now, again... Can
I introduce you to my daughter?
Yes, I'm not sure if my girlfriend's going to like that.
Well, it's a proper now. But, all right, so you're saying that there are many millennials that disagree with that point of view.
And listen, I'm not saying that you can't live at home for a while. I'm not saying that you can't slowly take baby steps when you get out there. But I think it's a huge mistake for millennials to rely on their parents for 2, 3, 4 years. They're never going to beat the competition. They can't develop that work ethic on their own.
What do you think?
I disagree with him. I think it's really important, and it's nice to have your family supporting you while you save money. For example,
but they don't really want to do it.
Oh, my parents are so happy.
Okay, well, you seem like a very nice young lady. I'm just telling you, they don't want to do it because they're squandering their retirement savings. Because they love you to death.
See, I don't
well, I just hope you're there for them when they need you.
I'll absolutely be there. But I think it's very important. I want to save up for a house. I'm 26. I just graduated from law school last year. And I want to make sure that when I buy a house, I can put 20% down. I don't want to have to pay a PMI.
So are you living at home now?
I am living at home now.
Really?
Yes. I haven't lived at home since I was 17. For longer than,
Did they kick you out of the house?
No, they didn't.
Gaspo said they kicked you
I could have.
There's a rumor on the internet.
Gaspo said they kicked you out of the house.
I could have stayed there, but I think the bottom line is whatever it is that can advance your career. If staying at home for a little bit will help you get further along in the long run, that's good.
So you don't judge your fellow millennials?
No, but it depends why you're doing it. If you're doing it because it's more comfortable and you just get stuck there, then that's one thing. I mean, I would have been more comfortable at home than I was. I slept on a yoga mat in Long Beach so I could have an internship.
Well, who didn't?
And work at restaurants because I knew that if I stayed home, that wasn't what was going to be best for me in the long run.
But we have to look at the fact that there's a difference between living at home for a year or two and being supported by your parents. These are two different things. When I hear support, I think somebody is giving you money on a monthly basis and helping you pay your bills.
But you're also a liberal who loves big government, right?
Absolutely not. I don't know what I'm kidding. I'm a strong independent.
So here then is the rub that I think every generation is annoyed by the generation before, the generation present is annoyed by the generation after. And I'm wondering if that's what this is all about.
I also I think it has something to do with millennials are constantly being told, yeah, the economy is really bad, so if you need to stay home, that's fine. And a lot of people, I wonder if they're getting scared into staying home rather than
things are particularly bad.
But hold on one second. This is not just a millennial
I was
problem.
around during the Depression.
It's worse for millennials.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
We need to think about boomers as well. We need to talk about boomers because it takes two to tango. Millennials are being empowered by their baby boomer parents to do this. If boomers wanted to stop...
Are you blaming us after all we've done for you?
You better believe it. Boomers have to take responsibility just like millennials do. Otherwise, you can't look at this fairly.
Your parents hate you?
My parents love me, I hope.
Good.
Maybe not after this segment.
Yeah,
but prior to this segment, my parents love me.
But now you have a view that, look, to each his or her own.
Right.
But you can't make a sweeping, sort of like Gaspo did, and just take off an entire
And you're an
generation.
attorney, right? So like you're sitting at home watching television and doing
financially
nothing.
supporting me.
Do you think
letting
that
me
as an
save.
attorney, that she has ample grounds to sue for using language like that? Please tell me yes.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I know you hate me as an attorney.
That's okay. Believe it or not, I'm also not that sensitive. It was fine. I'm just saying, if you really do not like the way the youth is going on, maybe make yourself a little bit more likable to them so people will want to learn from all of your wisdom, sir.
I've told him this forever, but he just doesn't. He's not a nice person.
And I'm sure he
Walks by a mirror, doesn't see his reflection.
I think we need a battle. They need to come on, just battle each other out.
You guys have a very thick skin, even though you're all thin, and dealt with it. All right, so Gaspo, if you're watching, I mean, hello, really?